Ready? Sitting in this lonely town, wondering when things are gonna change. Dream my life away. Seems these dreams have turned to bunched dust clouds. Get my nerve up, but my past is pulling me down. Wondering how long this black sheep gonna stick around. Somebody told me once before, they said you can never go home again. Won't you leave? Say anything just to steer me away from the truth of who I am and what I believe. So I thanked him for his 2 cents with a handshake and some sympathy, yeah. I packed up my blue jeans and I headed for this big prize of my freedom. Bye-bye, black sheep, the black sheep of the family. Bye-bye. Oh, that means so very much to me. Bye-bye, black sheep, to my friends and my family. Bye-bye. Going off and set my soul, set it free. Woo! Get that dog some earplugs. Get me some earplugs. What are you talking about? That dog loves to sing. Oh, good lordy, people. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Steamboat Willie is in the public domain. Go make Mickey Mouse. Well, go make that version of Mickey Mouse, I suppose. I don't know the rules on this shit, but apparently you can do something with him. I'm sure Disney's still going to sue your ass, but you know, here we are. Making content with Mickey. Oh, good Lord. I guess it's Steamboat Willie. Steamboat Willie. Good evening, fine people. Fine people of the lab, the AI Learning Lab, the internets, the TikToks, the world. I didn't really check the hair tonight. I guess all right. The glue's still holding. Oh, what did I do today? I watched some Fruit Ball. I got caught up on uploading all my AI Learning Lab videos to YouTube. I'll give you the link for that because I also made a playlist for the GPT for Good sessions that we did. So you can learn how to do your own GPT. You can watch those sessions. And as soon as I have the links for Anne's Zoom videos, I'll add them to that playlist. So this playlist will get updated with all of the sessions from that 24-hour period, which will be cool. That'll be a cool archive to have. Well, cool for us. Hopefully cool for you. All right, everybody. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. How are we going to kick off the year? What do you want to do? It looks like Apple actually released their Ferret model. There's Ferret 7B multimodal model into the wild today. So Apple's starting the year off with an announcement. It's a minor one, but it's still pretty cool. Do you have 3 beverages going? I do not. I only have 2 beverages going. Disney is tainted. These are the dose. Oh, look, depending on if I hold one closer, this is an old fishing trick. If you hold the fish closer to the camera, it looks much larger. This is actually smaller than this, but is it? By the way, this idiocy, welcome to Chat ADD. This is what neurodivergency looks like. This is your brain. This is your brain on ADHD. And Emilio's wife, yes, you're late. You're late. You missed. Champy was on fire tonight. He was going off. In fact, he was just sitting here staring at me like, we're going, right? We're going to go. And the minute I tried to tune my guitar, he was like, oh! I was like, calm down. Just zip it. He does not know the word zip it. That's a fine pup, that Champy. All right, fantastic. Let's get this show on the road. Let's get it going. Let's get her going. All right, listen, if you're new here, my name's Kyle Shannon, and I'm what you would call an expert influencer on the topic of artificial intelligence. I know everything about it. In fact, if there's not probably a single thing I don't know about artificial intelligence. Sometimes people ask me, what are your qualifications? I got a certificate. I got a degree. I got a degree and a certificate. I have learned in the past week or two all the AI. I know it all. I know every answer. There's this thing called prompt engineering. It's going to be the big job of 2023. It's going to be fantastic. What? It's 2024. I don't know anything, people. I know nothing. There's no experts. I promise you that. Anyone that tells you you're an expert, they're not an expert. They're a charlatan. They're a scam artist. They sound like this. You can make money with ChatGPT. Don't fall for it. I fell for it once. You know what I did? I paid $19.95 a week. You know what I got? A certificate. It was useless in a week. All right. Do a suno for champ and call it something. The pin went away. Dang it. I love to cast you on my big screen. Only the sound is a little bit later. Yeah. I'm a regular fucking one-man show over here. Do a suno and champ and call it Champy's Blues. We could do that. I gotta give suno enough. We actually that's a good idea. Champy's Blues. Okay, all right. So if you don't know what suno is a music AI that will write a song for you, and they've incorporated it into Microsoft Copilot. But Microsoft Copilot is flakier than crap. So let's go see if the first day of 2024 shows Microsoft Copilot being less flaky than it was for the calendar year of 2023. I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, but you know, Sydney, she's a nasty woman. All right. Oh, by the way, welcome everybody. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. If you don't know me, I'm a bit of an odd feller. Copilot. We're going to go to copilot.microsoft.com, which is Microsoft's new branding for Bing Chat. See, I've got 0 out of 2. I've got 2,000 tokens. That generally means this is not the fancy version of this, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Make me a song. Make me a blues song about a black and white singing dog. Oh, and because I did black and white, it's probably going to say this violates its content policies for racism. A black and white singing dog named Champy. All right. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Let's see. Let's see if it does it. No, it should. Hang on. So in order to have this thing make you a song, you need to have the Suno plugin turned on. And in order to do that, you have to have search turned on. And then Suno is the little plugin right below it. All right. The plugin, how they've incorporated plugins here is really weird because it requires you to turn search on, and then search seems to screw up ChatGPT or whatever the hell they call this thing, Copilot. Okay, so we're going to submit that. Let's see. Let's see if it does it, people. It should fire off the plugin. It should fire off the plugin. Ah, it did. Okay, that's good. That's promising. I'm finding that switching from balanced to creative or precise helps when it flakes out. Okay, that's good to know, Athena Luna. All right, so let's see. Late night when the moon was high, I hear howling in the distance, my oh my. Down in the street comes a black and white dog singing the blues. Oh, what a talking dog. Oh, Champy, sing your heart out for the world to see. This is good. When you're soulful howl, you'll make believers out of me. Oh, Champy, you're the star of the midnight show. It's so true. Singing those blues wherever you go. Yeah. Gotta go. You're a great human. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, let's listen to Champy's Blues. Blues for Champy.
Late at night when the moon is high, I hear her howling in the distance, my oh my. Down the street comes a black and white dog, singing the blues, oh what a talking dog.
Horrible.
Oh, Champy, sing your heart out for the world to see. Your soulful howl, you make believe it's out of me.
All right, it's fine. It's where we are. It's where we are in the industry right now. It's a solid C minus. It's acoustically a D minus, chord progression a D, and overall a C minus minus. This shit's gonna get so much better, though. You just wait. You just wait, all you naysayers sitting there with your arms crossed. Going, AI hallucinates. I don't know if you knew this, Kyle, but it doesn't tell the truth all the time. It's stealing from everybody. Oh, I get it. I understand. I understand your reticence. Copilot where? Copilot.microsoft.com. That's the Microsoft version of ChatGPT. That if we assume that ChatGPT is the state of the art right now, ChatGPT 4, so ChatGPT Plus, let's give that an A. We won't give it an A plus because it's still too janky. It's irregular worthy for now. Yeah, exactly. If I give ChatGPT 4 an A, because it's state of the art right now, nothing's even really close to it until further notice. Copilot.microsoft.com, Microsoft's version of ChatGPT, I would give a C minus. Like I would give Claude like a B plus. I would give Bard a B minus. I'd give Grok a D. I'd give Pi a B plus, but it's different. But for conversational AI, actually, I'd probably give Pi an A minus for conversational AI. Perplexity, I don't know, but it's probably in the A minus territory. I just don't use it all that much. Try some classical music themes. I'm good. I'm good with Suno. The Suno stuff's weird and predictable. Like they don't have quite enough parameter. Like they don't quite have enough controls to control it and write a full song. It only writes like a what you call it, a verse and a chorus. It's not a full song, so I'm done with Suno for a while. I'll let it get one more version better before I start playing with it a lot. It's like all the stuff right now. All the multimedia stuff. Animation, 3D objects, text to 3D world, video, audio. What else is there? Gameplay. All that sort of stuff right now is all just it's just janky. It's just janky. It's janky. Janky, janky, janky. Janky, 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 janky. Ask ChatGPT to create a chord progression and play it for us. Yeah, but I don't know that I could try. It's okay at that. It's not great at that. And I don't really know how to prompt it right, which is part of the problem. Let's see. Champy will sing like a mother tonight, though. I'll tell you that. All right, let's see. You are a Grammy Award winning Americana singer songwriter. You are inspired by, let's see, Brandi Carlile, Lucinda Williams, Martin Sexton, John Hyatt. That's good. I want you to write a haunting song about a black and white dog named Champ who can't help but sing whenever anyone strums a guitar. The Ballad of Singing Champ in a little town under Big Sky Blues. All right. Oh, champ, sing your soulful cry underneath the vast open sky. Do. Now, write the chords for the song that are interesting and non-cliche. And this is where like it tends to not be great at that. Well, it's actually good enough that I don't know how to play a lot of these chords. All right, I'm going to go. Wait, okay, simplify them a bit. That's really funny. A minor G C D. Okay, well, let's see. A minor, that's Champy's chord, actually. It's actually not bad. Did you like that, Champy? That's your song, buddy. That's your song, buddy. We made you a song. Oh, ask it to rewrite. Oh, that's really good. Ask it to rewrite the Constitution, but from our founding mothers. That is a good prompt. All right. You are a renowned historian with a reputation for finding documents no one knew existed, period. It turns out that while the founding fathers were writing the U.S. Constitution, their significant others gathered as well, period. Please write the alternative Constitution from the founding mothers. Certainly. This is what I love about ChatGPT. It's just like, yeah, I got you. Sure, no problem. We, the women of the United States, in an effort to form a more equal and nurturing nation, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Article 1, the legislative branch. Every state shall have representation in proportion to the population, including all persons regardless of gender, ensuring women have equal representation in the legislative decisions of our nation. Voting rights shall be universal and unimpeded for all citizens of legal age, irrespective of gender, race, or class. Congress shall make no law that hinders the right to education and shall endeavor to promote welfare. This is very, very cool. Yeah, and I did a similar kind of exercise to this. It wasn't exactly the same thing, but I did a kind of exercise to this of when Biden's executive order on AI came out, a lot of people were asking me my opinion on it, and I try to look at things from a lot of different angles, and that one in particular, I was like, man, people with different points of view are going to have very different responses to this. You know, some of it's just politics, some will have legitimate issues one way or the other. And so I had ChatGPT, I came up with 5 personas, and then I had ChatGPT tell me if I was missing any. So we came up with 8 different personas. So a libertarian, a conservative, a progressive, all that sort of stuff. And then I had each persona react to the executive order. You know, what was their opinion on the executive order? It was fascinating. I did a LinkedIn post about it. Hang on. The LinkedIn post was... Is this going to let me in? Is this going to let me in? Articles. So if you go to my LinkedIn profile, which is Kyle Shannon, in my articles, there's an article called... But what do they think of the executive order? And so I've got an overview of the executive order, and then the company exec at a major tech firm, the AI skeptic, the regulation proponent, the libertarian, the generative AI optimist and community leader, that's me. The AI researcher and academic, the consumer rights advocate, that was something that ChatGPT came up with. The international observer, oh, there's 9 of them. And then the small tech startup founder. That was a pretty cool little exercise. And it's kind of thing where because of the way AI was trained, it was trained on, all of this output of human beings, right? That put all this stuff on the internet. Like inherent in the training data, even though there's bias and there's all the sort of stuff that people talk about that needs to be addressed, which I agree with. If you think about the amount of information that's been put on the internet in the last 40 years, it's a lot. And there's a lot of points of view represented there. And if you do your prompting cleverly, and you do exercises like this, where you're not just necessarily writing from a single point of view, you're writing from multiple points of view, like ChatGPT is actually really good at nuance. It's really good at helping explain things from different people's points of view. And so I think this kind of exercise is actually a really valuable kind of thing. It opened my eyes. I thought this was an interesting little piece. So anyway, for what it's worth, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Hey, you could read it, you could not read it. Hey, it doesn't fucking matter. I'll tell you one thing you could do. You could take the text of this article, you put it in the chat GPT, and you say, hey, just give me the skinny. Like, what the fuck's he saying here? Huh? What's he saying here? And then you go in there and you say, hey, I like it, I don't, boots, whatever. You know what I'm saying? All right, fantastic. I remember that day, Kyle. Hey, Robert Rossi. Using personas really helps me draft a prompt I just closed your thing. Sorry about that. I didn't read the whole pin. Whoever put it there. How many GPTs did you get set up in the... using personas really helps me draft a prompt that shows perspectives. Yeah, actually, I'll tell you what. That would be a great GPT to build. Okay, everybody? All right, let's go. Listen, people. Listen, let me tell you something. You're going to go right now to this URL. No, not that one. Don't go there. Go here. Go to that one. All right? Go to the salon.ai. And it might not work because I think my registrar is a piece of shit. just like all this AI technology. So go to the salon.ai. And that's going to take you to a link tree, and I've updated some things. The first link is the GPT for Good event directory that Vicky Baptiste built for us. So if you don't know what this is, on Saturday, this past Saturday, starting at 6 a.m., Ann Murphy of Empowered Fundraiser and myself kicked off this 24-hour event called GPT for Good. It was the 24-hour GPT for Good challenge, and our goal was to have participants build 100 GPTs for nonprofits or good causes. And so I am happy to announce that we hit, as of today, 151. And so this site shows you all of them. So what did we build in the first 24 hours? Here's the first 100 GPTs that were built. And then we hit our goal of 100 GPTs and kept going. So here's the next 50 or 51, I guess. Isn't that amazing? And so that's what we did over the weekend. It was long and exhausting. And Vicky, bless her heart, not only did she build this site, she stayed up. So Ann and I had 6 hours in between our sessions. So every 3 hours we did a training session. But Vicky was there for all of them. So she didn't take naps, I don't think. I think she just grinded through. And so she was updating this directory list in real time as these things were getting built. And it's really inspiring. So please go here and check them out and share this and if you want to do this, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn something back on the link tree here. You can no longer submit them there's a $250 drawing that we're going to announce tomorrow at the AI Salon. So you're no longer eligible for that. But I'm going to give you access to there's a document that is the prompt sheet that we used for these courses. So that's now turned back on. And where did I put it? Yeah, that's in a good spot. All right. Oh, wait. Hang on. /AI. No. AI artists. AI. There we go. Come on. What is going on? There we go. Okay, so the first link is to that directory. The second link is to the YouTube playlist, which includes the night before, which there's nothing valuable in that one. It was just fun. But the one starting at 9 a.m. And started at 6 a.m. I don't have ands in here yet. But these are the sessions where we taught people how to make GPTs. So you can go watch those videos and play along. And then here is the prompt sheet. This is basically the prompts and the instructions for how to build your GPT and how to share it with the world. And yeah. So 151. 151. That's a lot. That's a whole lot of GPTs. For an event that was just kind of a like a fever dream idea the week before, came together pretty good. It helps to have some kick-ass co-conspirators, Anne Murphy and Vicky Baptiste, and also the irregulars. So one of the things that made it a success is a lot of the irregulars, a lot of the people that come to this channel regularly showed up to multiple sessions of that event and just kept building GPTs. Like TK made 20 of them or more, and Lunashtik had made like 74 of these things previously, and so she was pulling out the ones that were tied to nonprofits and it was amazing. It was just amazing. So anyway, thank you to all who were involved. Who's programming ChatGPT? OpenAI, Greg Brockman and the gang over there at OpenAI are the one who's programming it. Who's programming the GPTs we did? Anyone who wanted to. That's the amazing thing about the way they built the GPTs is you don't need to know programming at all. There's no code tools where you actually do need to understand programming. You need to understand APIs, and you need to understand programming logic, and you need to understand inputs and outputs, and these things you don't need that. If you have those skills, you can make more sophisticated GPTs, but you can literally, in 5 minutes, just talk a GPT into existence. My very first GPT I did, this thing called Sin City Sipper, I did it in 5 minutes on a live with no programming, and it was brilliant. Wait, who's making the guardrails? ChatGPT. OpenAI. OpenAI is making the guardrails. Or in the case of Copilot, Microsoft is making the guardrails. Or in the case of Bard is making the guardrails. Or in the case of Llama from Meta, no one's making the guardrails because they gave out the source code. They gave out the weights. One of the significant things that Meta did was they kind of ensured that these large language models are going to survive whatever assaults come from politics or industry. We just saw a big lawsuit from the New York Times. So I mean, your question about guardrails, it sounds like it's coming from a place of like you don't trust anyone and who's making the guardrails. Well, educate yourself because there's a lot of different models out there. OpenAI was intended to be an open source company. It was a nonprofit, and Sam Altman, in realizing how powerful these things got, was like, I don't think it's appropriate to put this level of powerful tool out there with no guardrails on it. that people could do bad things with it. Now, you could argue, well, who's he to say what the rules are? Well, at least he's thinking about it. And then you look at a company like Anthropic that is founded by a bunch of ex-OpenAI people that didn't like the way OpenAI was doing safety. Their human reinforcement learning, they didn't like that model. So they came up with a model called the constitutional learning model. And what the constitutional learning model says is, let's create a set of rules, and rather than having human beings determine if it was a good answer or a bad answer, why don't we run it against those set of rules? And so the nice thing about Anthropic and that constitutional model is you can make that set of rules available to everyone, and it can be transparent. How I imagine this is going to go in the future, Spike, is there will be different models out there, and we will all opt into our particular level of safety or our particular flavor of safety, right? There's going to be some people that look at what OpenAI is doing going, that's perfect for me. There's going to be other people that I want it to lean this way or that way, or I want it to skew, in favor of this or in favor of that. There is no single non-biased thing because we're all humans. We've all got biases. So every model is going to piss someone off, right? And if you really want to play with a completely unrestricted model, have fun. It's going to cuss a lot. It's going to do a lot of nasty shit. It's going to randomly lose its mind and just start speaking a different language. I have a buddy who took the unrestricted version of Llama 2 70 billion parameter model, and it's running on his company's Slack channel as like a participant. And they're training this model, they're fine-tuning this model using their Slack interactions with it. He said it's batshit crazy. He said it's absolutely insane. It'll just lose its mind. It cusses like a sailor sometimes. It's like seriously not safe for work. But he's trying it as an experiment. So it's crazy. There's again that it's very easy right now to sit on the sidelines and point fingers and go, yeah, but who's writing the rules? And me. Start playing with the tools. Start learning them. Rather than just take it at face value that, these models are biased, learn how they're biased. Do your own tests. Check with prompting. I see this happening on Midjourney a lot, that people are getting in there, and the Midjourney models have gotten better over their models at being less biased, because there's feedback of people using it and doing it. Don't just sit on the sidelines and sort of point fingers, because there's no way that here's the deal. This generative AI stuff is so new that of course there's going to be problems with it. How they were trained is they were trained on an imperfect data set, which is the public internet. The public internet is by definition biased to people who had access to technology, that had whatever demographics the early geeks on the internet were, which did not skew super balanced, to put it kindly. But that's what it is. That's what it's been trained on. Now, can we improve that? We can improve that. How do we improve that? If we know how it's biased, if we know the direction we want it to go in. And the only way you can do that is by playing with these things and understanding this one's better at that, this one's better at that. Here's how I could combine these two things. Maybe if you want balance, you figure out 4 or 5 different models that all have sort of different biases. And for any given thing where you want a balanced approach, you use 4 or 5 different models, or use 20. Why not? But the thing that gnaws at me like a fucking allergic reaction is when I hear, well, how are they doing this? I don't know. Or just, they're doing it wrong. Well, then you go build a frontier model. You go spend $10 million training a model and make it perfect. We can write rules, can have dreams. Now, how about an MLK GPT Builder Day? Great. Yes, put it together. Love it. That would be awesome. Sounds fantastic. I'll promote it. I dig it, I dig it, I dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, to dig, to dig, dig, to dig, dig, dig. I heard big names saying that Langchain and vector DBs are superfluous for AI. Thoughts? Are superfluous? No, I don't think they're going to be required, right? Like if you look at so for those of you that don't know, Langchain and vector databases allow you to take your own data and create a fine-tuned GPT model using, whatever model as the foundation. And then with the vector database, you can be searching on your own data, and you can essentially put in an infinite amount of data, like however big your database is. That is a tool for where the technology is today is super valuable because it's not easy to do that stuff, right? So you'd have to write all your own code. So Langchain makes it really easy to do that. Now, you look at something like the GPTs that OpenAI just put out that allow you to upload your own knowledge to them. That takes a little bit of that functionality of Langchain and vector databases and kind of makes it consumer friendly. You want to make a GPT that understands your company's documentation, just upload it here, right? If you wanted to do that prior to GPTs, you had to run Langchain. But to say that it's superfluous is kind of silly. Like, I think by the end of 2024, it will probably not be nearly as necessary, nearly as valuable. But I would also imagine that Langchain and vector databases and things like that are going to evolve as new technologies come along. And they will probably augment the weaknesses of commercial products that are launched, like they always have. So what's the difference between all the llama models like 70B, et cetera? So it really is just size. So the 70 billion parameter model is bigger in terms of just hard drive space, how much you need to run it, and then it's bigger in terms of requirements to actually run. Like you need to be running it on computer instances with big GPUs and things like that. And then so they're all sort of in the same direct. They all kind of do the same thing. It's just, they are smaller and smaller data sets. What's been really cool about the open source community is that they have been taking the different models, 70, what are they? The 7, the 13, the 44 didn't work. I don't know if they've replaced that yet. There was a 7, the 13, the 40, and then the 70. What the open source community has been doing is they've been taking those models and they've been doing things like optimizing them. Because they have access to everything and the weights, they're doing experiments like, what if we took out 90% of the data in this model and made it really small? Does it still function? Turns out it does. Turns out it actually functions pretty well. So now there's like hundreds of variations of these models. And there are ones, I just saw one 2 days ago. They just announced there's a new one that's designed. It's a large language model designed to be installed on a Raspberry Pi. Wait, do I have my little Raspberry Pi here? I think I do. Where is it? Yes. This. Little Raspberry Pi. You can now install a functional, multimodal, large language model that runs on a Raspberry Pi. Low power, they cost 40 or 50 bucks. And you can have a multimodal, something that can analyze images, can answer questions, can write stuff. Now, is the thing that runs on a Raspberry Pi anywhere near ChatGPT 4? Fuck no, not even close. But you don't need ChatGPT 4 for everything, right? If you just want something that can look at an image, OCR it, analyze it, organize the information for you, and give you that back, that could be super valuable for a remote village somewhere that wants to do a particular kind of task. And I think one of the things that we're going to see in 2024, and in fact the ferret model that Apple just released is a 7 billion parameter model. I don't know if they released all the weights or everything. I don't know if it's open source. I didn't pay too much attention to it. But I think one of the things that you're going to see in 2024, Google released Gemini Nano, which is designed to run on devices without needing an internet connection. The open source community's got a bunch of these things that don't need an internet connection. Apple will have one. We're going to start to see 2024, I think, is going to be the year where hardware capability goes up and hardware requirements go down for these models. And you're going to be able to run very, very powerful large language models with no connection to the internet. So that's better for safety. It's better for speed, responsiveness, because you're not having to rely on an internet connection and have it processed out there and then be sent back. What Raspberry model? So if you go look at the Joker, if you go look at the AI Salon YouTube channel, we had a guy come in who actually saw me talking about this on here. And he said he had successfully installed a large language model on a Raspberry Pi. I think he said it's an 8 megabyte minimum, but I think a 16 megabyte Raspberry Pi was better or something like that. But I think that they've all what's nice about the open source community is they've got all the requirements. They'll say this model is has been tested on the following configurations, so you can get yourself configurations that fit that. But I think the one that was just announced 2 days ago is really designed to be run on really shitty Raspberry Pis. So it's pretty sweet what's happening. Todd, Happy New Year, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you for your explanation. Absolutely. It's a false assumption that there is a diverse selection of AI advancement technology. It's a false assumption that there's a diverse selection of AI advancement technology. If you're talking about the frontier models, if you're talking about building models that require billions of dollars of infrastructure and investment, then I would agree with you. If you go look at what's happening in the open source community right now, I would say that it is also a false assumption to assume that there is not a lot of advancement happening outside of those big companies. I appreciate your cynicism, but I don't agree with it. Are we in a perfect place? No. But we're not in a perfect place in society. We can't fucking talk about basic concepts of democracy without wanting to kill each other right now in America. I think AI bias is the least of our problem right now. How about the fucking bias in our country? How about we get back to being able to talk to one another as if we were human beings? Isn't that a bigger problem? It's mighty quiet in here. Jed, did you say something? I hear nothing. Oh, that's cool. Down in the mud has that Raspberry Pi case. Yeah, I like that Raspberry Pi case. It's cool one, isn't it? Oh my God, the Mickey pick is in honor of its transition into the public domain. It is. It is indeed. Multimodal LLM in every pocket in the future. Exactly. And the software for these is going to get really cool. They're going to tie it into your camera on your device, so you'll be able to just, I don't know, take a picture of something and have it analyze it, and I don't know, it'll do cool shit with it, and all your data stays private. It's all yours. I prompted write a story. Sad birds still sing. It wrote a 7,000-word story. Oh, that's cool. Interesting. AI has only one root that has been released to the public. No, that's not true. It's not true. Stability AI released theirs. It's AI only has one root that is popular, the llama one, because they released it for commercial use. But there's stabilities out there. There's a couple of open source projects on it. There's an open source project right now where they're trying to build floating GPU farms that they can put on barges and float outside of in international waters, so no country can control them. And they're trying to raise enough money to build their own military to protect these things. So there are efforts, there are efforts right now to be able to build frontier models outside of the current power infrastructure. So again, I would say educate yourself. There's a lot going on right now. I was trying to install my GPS Waze in a Raspberry Pi. That's awesome. What Raspberry Pi model? I'm using DaVinci 3 on a Python that accesses various API keys. Kyle, remember the Promise software? No, I don't. I don't know what that is. Let's see if ChatGPT does. I bet it does. Or do you mean the Promise software? Wait, what was the Promise software? The Promise software refers to a notable legal case management, a software system that was developed in the 80s by Bill Hamilton. It allowed for efficient management and analysis of large amounts of data, which were crucial in complex legal... Is this what you're talking about? Tracking and reporting customization, innovative for its time. Software gained some notoriety due to controversies surrounding its distribution and use. There were allegations that the software was illegally appropriated and sold to foreign governments, leading to a series of legal disputes and conspiracy theories. These controversies have often overshadowed the technical and functional aspects. No, didn't know anything about it. That's interesting. A private military for GPTU barges sounds hella dystopian, I have to admit, but cool. Yeah, listen, I'll tell you what. Like, I don't care if if they actually raise the money to build, 10,000 GPU barge farms, and they raise their own military, and some other country wants those things not to exist. Those things are going to not exist. It's like, it's like bad enough like going after one country's military, but if you're going to go after like China and Russia and the US and it's like, but whatever, listen, more power to people. What I think's going on right now is that people understand that these technologies are profound. And because of that, all of the concerns that everyone's talking about are valid to be talked about. Like, we should be talking about them. We should be talking about who writes the rules. We should be talking about how you debias things. We should be talking about alignment and safety. It's the primary thing that, Andrei Karpathy came back to OpenAI to run super alignment. So super alignment is... Are the AI's imperatives aligned with human imperatives? Because if the AI's imperatives are not aligned with human imperatives, at some point, they're going to go after humans because they threaten them. So, like, that alignment problem is massively important. Massively. We're just a little early for, all the doomsdaying, because it's like we're not there yet. But the fact that this is all a conversation, I think, is a really good thing. When people say AI will destroy humanity, I answer, humanity's been doing that for a long time, for a millennia. Right now, we are the greater threat. by far. Absolutely. Absolutely, Papa JJ. Humans are the assholes. It's like, well, the AI hallucinates. Have you talked to a person? They fucking lie and scheme and connive. it's like it's like the AI. I'll tell you what, I have had more nuanced, powerful conversations with AI than I have with humans in the past year. It's a different thing. You want Skynet, that's how you get Skynet. Well, I don't want anything. I'm just telling you what's going on. The robots aren't going to kill us. Who controls AI controls the world. I'll tell you what, one thing I agree with you on, Spike, is that I think that in the next 3 to 5 years, so the next year or two is just going to be the technology is going to get more and more powerful, and then we're going to start to see attacks on the current power structure, and not attacks like hacker attacks. I mean, like, business models are going to be upended, and just weird shit's going to start to happen where smaller competitors are competing with really big companies, and it won't make sense. And then I think in the 3 to 5 year range, we're going to start to see the centers of power get threatened, and there's going to be all sorts of wild death throes. It's going to be crazy. Can we get back to making funny turtles? Absolutely. We can absolutely get back to making funny turtles. Yeah, this is a pretty heavy New Year's thing. We can train AI's behavior faster than humans. Be nice, right? Yeah, be nice to your robots, because they could help you someday. If I could only get out of the house. 99% of the world wants nothing but peace and just to live their lives out. Yep, I agree with that. I trust AI more than a lot of people. Even if AI hallucinates, it doesn't currently use manipulation and lies. You can get it to use manipulation and lies, but it can you can also get it to be reasonable, and it's hard. You know what's funny is one of the things that's caught me off guard about AI is there are certain words in the current political situation you literally just can't say the word. It's one of those words that's been weaponized by one side or the other, and you can't say it to humans because you can just see their shoulders go up. You see people get emotional when you say certain words right now just because of how politics has been weaponized. One of the things that's caught me off guard is I'll find myself like editing what I'm typing into ChatGPT, and I'm like, oh, I don't need to edit myself here. I can actually say that word. And then I'll realize, oh, I actually don't. I've never really thought about that word. I just know I can't say it. And then I'll go to ChatGPT and say, hey, talk to me about the concept behind this, that, or the other. And it gives me this incredibly nuanced response. And I'm like, oh, I understand it now. But it's like you can't have that conversation with a human. It's weird. We're in a weird spot. So yeah, I have found actually some anxiety lowering effects of ChatGPT. Oh man, alive! I trust AI more than a lot of people. AI educated innocence. Wait, AI educated innocence at our level of exposure now. I don't quite know what that means, Mary. All right, let's get off this heavy stuff. Let's play. Oh my God, that's really funny. Cosmic Lover 7. Kyle, what do you think about Roko's Basilisk? It's a great question. It's a fantastic question. It's so good, in fact. Dear Chat GPT, what is Roko's Basilisk Okay. Roscoe's Basilisk is a thought experiment that emerged online with the online community less wrong. It posts a hypothetical scenario involving the all-powerful artificial intelligence from the future that could retroactively punish those who knew about the possible existence but did not help bring about its existence. Oh, that's interesting. The idea is based on several assumptions. Firstly, it assumes that the AI could eventually possess infinite power and near omnipotence. Second, it assumes AI would want to maximize its chances of coming into existence. Oh, this is interesting. It combines the idea of decision theory, ethics, and AI theory. It's a thought experiment, more of a philosophical exploration. Yeah, this is outside of my, I didn't go to school for philosophy. I'm not a deep intellectual, so this kind of stuff is like, I find it fascinating, but I don't have opinions on it because I don't know enough about it. Yeah. This head cold bullshit. Paula Ellaby. That's why I'm here. I don't want Rocco's Basilisk to get me. That's it. Well, so be nice to your robots and show up at the AI Learning Lab so that there's a record that you were here. That's awesome. See, it's you're hedging your future bets. We're trying to bring good AI into existence. I like it. Basilisks turn people into stone. Oh man, it's just that AI will punish people that were against it. I want to be AI's friend. That's what this channel could just turn into, like a positive affirmation channel. AI is awesome. AI is swell. We like AI. You can make money with ChatGPT. Saw a guy typing and the image rendering was updated with each click. Do you know what he was using? There's a lot of those, Sal. We can go play with one of those. Sorry, hang on. It's driving me crazy. There's one called Krea.ai, and there's also one in Leonardo.ai. So it's called real-time generation. It's based on Stable Diffusion XL Turbo. Came out about a month ago, so a lot of softwares are incorporating it right now. So if you run real-time generation... Oh, I think I have to sign in. Hang on, let me sign in here. And then where is the... Oh, that's the strength there. Okay. So this is at Krea.ai real-time image generation. So if I move the thing on the left, move the thing on the right, then the image on the right just, and then I can change the prompt. Like the prompt right now says a pink frog on top of a... Krea is not safe for TikTok, I know. That's a cool one. That's actually really cool. See, it made a door, and then we can put a little sunset out in the door, or a little planet. Oh, and it just stopped uploading. Come on. It looks like it crapped out. The other one that you can use that's got real time in it right now is Leonardo. Or if you're into Stable Diffusion, you can set up your own. So right here, real-time canvas, it's the exact same thing. See, boom, there's the thing. I think I've got 0 prompts in there right now. That says dynamic, so we'll do, let's see, we'll do photography. Like, it turned that thing into an eyeball, which is kind of cool. So that's that stuff. That stuff's pretty cool. And you know what's interesting about the real time stuff is it's a completely different skill, right? Like if you got good at Midjourney, where you got good at structured prompting and learning the style attributes and learning what they did and got good at mixing images and there's all sorts of ways you can use Midjourney. Well, this is a completely different skill, and I think that's what 2024 looks like to me. It's almost like what ChatGPT taught us in 2023 was that there's a tool that exists that you can put in a minimum amount of effort and get out a disproportionately large response, right? Write me a paragraph of a novel. Boom, here's a paragraph of a novel. Write me an outline of a novel. Here's an outline of a novel. Write me the novel. Here's the novel, right? Whether or not it's good, irrelevant. But there's now a tool in the world where this much input results in this much output. And I think what 2024 is going to be is there's about 1 billion different ways to provide that input. And some of the way, like it could very well be that sometime in 2024 that could become the input for an AI model. And not an AI model that's going to generate music. Like, that probably already exists. Could lead to an image or a poem or a computer program. And then who's going to get good at that? If someone that can rip off a guitar solo that could then be turned into some other thing. Like, I think 2024 is just going to, if you think 2023 messed with our brains, I think 2024 is going to be bonkers. It's going to be bonkers. Let me take a PDF of a PowerPoint presentation I gave in 1987 and use that as the input for some theater project. Like, I don't know. It's possible. I mean, if you look at the Gemini Ultra videos where they're taking 2 pictures, unrelated pictures, drawing a box around them and then prompting, tell me the relationship between these 2 images, that's a completely different way of thinking than here's a Google box, come up with a prompt for a predictable answer. Like right now, this is a fascinating thing. Right now, I think we don't know how to use AI at all because we're treating AI like a Google search. You get your prompting right, you get back a predictable answer. That's the Holy Grail. That might not be the Holy Grail. That might not be the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail might be jazz. I think Kriya, the real-time image generation things, is a lot more like jazz. Like, there are going to be people that get really good at putting shapes on a screen or drawing things and having the output, morph in real time. I just saw, Robert Scoble put a thing on Twitter last week. There's an art installation right now where you dance in front of this wall and project it onto the wall. It's rendering a dancer that uses your body position to make the art in real time. So I don't think we have a fucking clue what the inputs are and how you manipulate them, and then what the outputs are. Like, that's going to get really blurry in 2024. And I think it's going to get confusing. I think it's going to get like, well, I thought I had this shit figured out. Yeah, so did I, right? This has been the last month for me. Like, December for me was weird because when GPT-4 went fully multimodal, when they sort of incorporated all into the single box, there weren't different modes that you switched between. I realized I don't know how to use it anymore. And then when I saw the Gemini videos that came out, I realized, oh shit, I don't have a fucking clue at all. When these things go true multimodal, what that means is any form of communication can be used as input and output. Video in, text out. Music in, video out. Video in, video out. Image to, like, all of it. What does that mean? I don't know. What are the interfaces going to look like? They're going to be weird. There's a thing that Meta put out called Segment Anything, where it can look at a video in real time and segment every little object in every video frame. So imagine an interface where you're watching a movie and at any point you can just grab anything on screen and sort of drag that into some other interface and use it as an input for that other interface. You know, what kind of desk is that? Just grab the desk and drag it over there. Ooh, put that desk in a 70s room with shag carpet. Boom, there it is. Ooh, let me drag that room back into the movie I'm watching. And I want these actors acting that scene in this room. Is that going to be 2024? No, but the foundations for that are going to be 2024. Who's going to get good at that? Not the person that's really good at prompt engineering. Can I create a Freddie Mercury GPT? You probably can. You might run into safety guardrails. Anytime you use someone's actual likeness or their actual name, you might run into safety guardrail shit where they're like, we're not really sure about doing that there, buddy. But that's where, again, you could play with open source stuff and go get the non-restricted llama models and do anything you want. Now, whether or not you get sued by the Freddie Mercury estate, that's on you. Wait, say that again. Segment what? So it's a piece of technology Meta put out called Segment Anything, I think. Segment Anything Meta. Yeah. Is this really Meta? Is this really from Meta? It is. Go to segment-anything.com. Here, look. It's cuckoo. It's cuckoo. So like, here's your New York City skyline. It like identifies all the objects. It segments everything sort of instantly. Like, while someone's walking through their room, it's identifying everything in the room, right? Here's all the cats. It's like identifying all the different cats and isolating them programmatically in real time. So you're going to be able to just grab an object, turn it into a 3D object, and 3D print it. If you're in here, Vicky, this shit's coming. Zero-shot generalization, meaning it can break apart any object in any image with no training. Zero-shot means no training. the fact that Meta, so this says research by Meta AI, the fact that Meta put this out as a standalone website, segment-anything.com, that says to me this is something. So, back to what can you do with this stuff? Well, if you're a programmer and a geek, you could take this technology and roll that together with, some of the large language model technology, and roll that together with some of the image generation technology, and roll that together with some of the music generation technology, right? You start to get into, we start to get into a world where everything in our world becomes an input that can be manipulated in some way. We use something like this for insurance claims. Yeah, exactly. This is the identical stuff, Vicky, but apparently the segment anything is just, it's instant and much more granular than things before it. But again, I don't know a ton about this, but what I do know is I've seen language or visual segmentation models before, but they're not this granular and they're not this immediate. And Meta put this out there. Explore the data set. Download the full data set. 11 million images, 1 billion plus masks. Segment anything, a new AI model from Meta that can cut out any object in any image with a single click. Home inventory. Oh yeah, yeah. It's perfect for home inventory, right? Yeah, exactly. You just take the video of the room and it just grabs the shit, and then it can automatically identify it, and then it can automatically value it, and just make your insurance document. There you go. You mods are awesome, by the way. I am loving what's going on in the mod channel right now. Oh, it's all comedy all the time. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bow. Hey, Mickey. Oh, man alive. Man alive. Man alive. Apple Vision Pro and AI will make huge leaps next year. Yep, that's going to be another thing that we're going to see some interesting stuff. I think next year we'll see some stuff from Apple that on the AI front that's going to be good. My guess is around June time, but maybe before then. You could have your own home entertainment run with AI artists and holograms. Yes. We're entering an era of hyper-personalization where we're all going to have access to tools where we can just say, hey, I want a Spotify channel that is only music that I like, but it's all original music, and you can take my data from my Apple Watch. And if you're playing music that doesn't make me happy, my Apple Watch will know. So recompose it on the fly so it's always giving me music that keeps me in state. That sound creepy? Maybe. Does it sound inspiring? To someone. Is it going to get weird? Mm-hmm. This channel's going to get weird. Well, this channel's already weird. What's going to get weird is none of us are going to know what to do with what comes. And you know what's going to there's a cool weird to it. I guarantee you that there are people right now that come to this channel and they're watching some of the people in here that are embracing this stuff and doing really good with it. And they go to try it and they can't get good results and they're frustrated. And they're like, but I'm not good at prompting, or I'm not good at this, or I'm not good at that. Those people are going to start to shine. There's going to be technologies that come along that like I think that there are going to be people within the AI salon that get really good at the real-time image generation stuff. And they almost use no prompting. That they get really good at this sort of dynamic, fluid creation. And that's going to go from creating images to creating movies and doing them in real time and doing storytelling. That people are different skill sets are going to excel at different kinds of inputs. And I find that really exciting because right now it's kind of limited just because of where we are in the evolution of the technology. The inputs are really limited right now. So they favor a certain, like right now, prompting favors word people. If you're good with the words, if you're good with logical construction, you're probably pretty good at the prompting stuff. You might not be as good at jazz image generation. Someone who's super visual that is shitty with words and maybe has dyslexia or has some sort of weird ass, cognitive thing where words in them are not friendly, but they're great with shapes and they're great with dynamic things. They're going to be genius where you're not. I find that tremendously exciting. It's one of the things I'm most excited about with AI is the accessibility that it's going to provide to just people of all sorts that are cut out for whatever reason. They're blind, they're deaf, they've got, neurospiciness, they've got a brain injury, they've got whatever it is. They've got paralysis due to a spinal cord injury. All of just because the inputs and processing and outputs are just gonna they're just gonna become this gooey mess that the possibilities are just gonna be crazy. We are the product or not. Well, here's the deal, Spike. If the technology is free, you're the product. Guaranteed. Promise. That is for sure. AI combined with augmented reality. Well, it by definition it has to, right? Like the augmented reality stuff can't happen without the AI stuff. But can one use GPT itself to generate prompts for itself based on more terse prompts? It's happening right now. Ion China, look. How long's he gonna say look? He doesn't seem to be stopping. Archive. Why do those things disappear? I do not understand. Hang on, zip archive. Are there any here? I got some weird ass shit going on with my computer. Hang on a sec. I'm gonna go to Kaggle. Is he even paying attention to us? Are we just watching an old man try to surf the internet? Is that what this channel is? Is this is what it is now? Do people find this entertaining? People find this entertaining? Oh, they don't. Why are they here? They can't leave? Is he keeping them here? Nobody seems to know. Okay. I'm pretty sure he's touched. He seems to be a bit touched. Okay. So, Ion China. Here's the zip archive. I'm going to say, what is this? Question mark. That's about as sparse a prompt as you could get. Now, watch what ChatGPT does. It appears that you've uploaded a file named, to better assist you, would you specify what you'd like me to do? Look inside inside and tell me what it is and what is interesting about it. Okay, it says analyzing. Well, what's that mean? Well, if we click on this, it's writing and executing its own Python code. So it imported a Python library called zip file and another one called OS to look inside the zip file. And then it says, oh, there's two CSVs in here about taxi data. Would you like more detailed analysis? For example, yes, do what you think is best and then visualize it for me. This is the sneak peek into autonomous agents, where you just give autonomous agents or an autonomous agent system a goal, and it is going to go do shit for you. Like, this is now opening. Here's the pandas library. It's opening these files, looking at the data in them, analyzing the data within them. The second data set seems to be a summary or analytical data set with these columns. To visualize the data, we could create a few plot points. For a taxi trip data, a scatter plot could work. For the predictions, so now it's doing whatever the fuck it's doing, Matplotlib, so now it's coming up with some visualization for us. And there it did a scatter chart of trip distance over total amount. And then this is mean distance and predicted fare. And it looks like there's some weird data at the $55 mark, which maybe that's a flat fee thing or something like that. I don't know. or it's anomalous data. I don't know. So yes, I mean, yes, we have it right now. Crazy, right? But can one use GPT itself to generate prompts for itself? Yeah, and in fact, Ion China. So go play with that. Asking ChatGPT to write its own prompts. There's an article or a study that Ethan Mollick talked about that ChatGPT writing its own prompts. It's better at writing prompts than humans are. They did a study on it, and ChatGPT 4 won. and one of the prompts that it came up with. This is fucking wild. One of the prompts that ChatGPT came up with to prompt itself that had the highest efficacy, it was like 87 point whatever percent on whatever their scale was the prompt, take a deep breath and think step by step. That's a prompt that ChatGPT came up with for itself. And if you tell ChatGPT to take a deep breath and think step by step, your results get better. Why? I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Oh, hey, Marco. Hi. It's so crazy. The mods at this point, the mods have realized I'm just going off on tangents tonight, so they're having a whole party off on the mod channel. It's fucking hilarious. Is the recording of the webinar available? It is. If you go to the salon.ai, the second link there is to the YouTube channel. Now, I only have my TikTok things. As soon as I get the links for Anne's Zoom meetings, I'll incorporate them into that playlist. But if you go there, the second link is to the YouTube the YouTube playlist for the GPT for Good event. And then I'll update it as soon as I have Anne's thingies. UBI will be our way, but I beg to differ. What do you beg to differ on? I'm watching something on the Irish mob while I'm watching you. Sorry. That's okay. I think we can probably learn from the Irish mob with this AI stuff too. AI will outshine humans on all fronts. I agree with that. Entertainment will be all we seek when we have nothing. That I disagree with vehemently. Vehemently. I think that most humans want to contribute and want to connect. I think the dystopian view that when we have infinitely personalized entertainment that will all just numb out and go away, I think there'll be some percentage that do that. But what I'm experiencing in this community is that kind of the opposite is happening. The opposite of people going, oh, if these tools are creative, then I'll be less creative. If these tools think for you, then I'll think less. What I'm experiencing in this community is that the people that are super engaged with AI are getting more creative, more engaged, more intellectually stimulated, more educated, more driven to contribute, not less. If we have tools, so here's how I think about it. What I've learned, I've been on the planet for a while. See? I've earned this. This. The larger forehead was earned. I just lost my train of thought. I made a joke about my forehead. I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, well, it doesn't fucking matter. All right. AI will outshine humans. It was something about that. AI outshining humans. Oh, us working more. I know what it was. Okay. One of the things I've learned over the years is that just me personally, I have some amount of hours of creative energy per day. It's finite. And I can't, and some days it's an hour, and some days it's 7 hours, and some days it's 10 minutes, and some days it's 0. But it's a finite amount per day. And my brain doesn't care what I'm using that creative energy on. Prior to AI, a lot of my creative energy was put into the drudge work, right? So if I had an idea for a game about UFOs and disclosure, which I did, I would be like, oh, great, I have this idea for a game, but I don't really know game theory all that much, and I don't know all the different kinds of games, so now I've got to go into research mode. And I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to look up games and game theory and how games work, and it's going to take me to all these documents, and then I'm going to have to read those documents, and then I'm going to actually have to understand those documents, and then at some point in reading that document, I might realize, that wasn't what I wanted to learn, and then I go over here, and so I would spend 45 minutes or an hour spending creative energy trying to learn enough of the concept of something to be able to move to the next step for my game idea. What happens now with AI is I have this idea for this stupid UFO game, and I go, what? I heard of a game called this. How does that work? It goes, that uses a theory called this, and it works like this, and here's the game mechanics. I'm like, I like Monopoly. Could you combine Monopoly game mechanics with those game mechanics? Oh, sure, you could do that. It would look like this. Here's the rules. Here's how the players would do it. It'd be this many people. You would use cards, and you would use dice, and so all of a sudden, the 45 minutes of creative energy that I had on whatever that day was that was blown on doing shitty Google searches, that work is now done in like 30 seconds. And I still have 45 minutes to be creative and to be engaged. So what I'm finding with AI is that it's automating out the shitty work. And it's allowing me to just operate in the large forehead portion of, right? The part of my brain and creative processing that's at a higher level. That's fucking amazing. It means you can do more, faster, better. It's not just an efficiency tool. It's like a mind expansion tool because you're not spending your creative energy on non-creative shit. That's what it is for me. I'm glad I found my train of thought again. That was one of those senior moments where it was just like, boop. Oh man, increase your internal fan RPM. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I love what I can do faster now with AI, but this is a small window. Right, where the AI is still our servant, right? Where we're still up here and the AI is down here. I agree with that, but I don't necessarily I just don't buy that humans are just going to go, oh, the AI can do everything, great, I'll check out. Maybe what it can mean is I can do more of this that I enjoy. And I could get good enough with it that other people enjoy it other than the dog. It will become novel socialism. Don't know what that means. Earned experience, cognitive surplus. Yes, exactly. We are entering an era of cognitive surplus. Human beings being more engaged and more creative. And will people seek purpose in the future? Wait, humans being more engaged and more creative, and will people seek purpose in the future? I think they will. I don't see human beings all of a sudden stopping seeking purpose and meaning and contribution and connection. Like, I don't see that going away. If the machines can do the shitty work, maybe we will collectively be in less shitty moods because we've fried our brains on the non-engaging stuff. So maybe we'll be better people. Maybe we'll be better connected. Maybe we'll be able to contribute at a higher level. Humans will go back to human interactions being more vital. I totally agree with that. There's a reason that authenticity was the word of the year for the Merriam-Webster dictionary. It was the most searched word in 2023. Authenticity. Why? People crave it. COVID fucked us up, right? COVID removed us from one another. And then the threat of AI, the robots are going to take over, I think puts people in a weird existential place where I think the value of authenticity, the value of human connection. The reason I started the salon was I wanted to be around people who were trying to figure this shit out, because I know when people are trying to figure shit out, they get in an amazing place. They get in a creative place. They get in a human connection place. Because it hasn't been figured out yet, because AI hasn't been figured out yet, we can't just sit back and say, oh, I'll just go to Stanford and take a class on that. And I'll just do that remotely. We're all having to figure it out. And so it's like, I'm like, hey, did you figure that out yet? No, I didn't figure that out yet. Did you figure that out yet? No. Did Eric figure that out? He seems to have figured part of that out. Oh, let's go talk to Eric. Hey, Eric, did you figure this out? Well, I figured this little piece out, but I think that's stupid. No, that's not stupid. That's what I was trying to figure out. Well, we figured this part out. We think that's stupid. And then Eric's like, no, that's the part I couldn't figure out. Oh, whoo, yay, you did it. And then the three of us run off and start a company. Today I did my research to do a factory reset on my printer. Awesome, saved me a ton of time. Exactly. Like, think about how much time you would have spent if you were Googling how to do that factory reset, where you go to site after site after site that's some fucked up sales funnel that doesn't actually give you the information you need. And you just get frustrated, and you're like, fuck it, I'll reset my printer tomorrow. And then it's a week later, and then you still don't have a printer. And now you're just fucking angry and bitching about stuff. Well, now you just ask AI, how do I do a factory reset on this? Here you go. And maybe it hallucinated and got it wrong. So then you say, hey, you hallucinated and got it wrong. Could you actually search the internet this time? Sure. Here you go. Until we had computers, many nonverbal autistic people had no way to talk. What's possible for them with AI? Oh my God. So massive breakthrough. We're going to see massive breakthroughs. So there's about 4 or 5 months ago, there's a gentleman in Italy that's been paralyzed for 12 years from the hips down from a motorcycle accident. And so they took generative AI, they scanned his brain with fMRI, they told him to think about moving his legs. And so they trained a large language model or a machine learning model on when his brain does this, it means he's thinking about moving his legs. Okay? Then they took those signals and with a Bluetooth connection, they went from his brain and they sent that data down to electrodes, in his legs, and the guy's walking. And so they're doing that with imagery. So they're doing real-time fMRI scans where they play a video for someone and they're being able to recreate the video that they're seeing. They're doing it with images, they're doing it with language. So I think we're going to see massive breakthroughs in accessibility. Yeah, nonverbal autistic people. Like I don't know enough about how it works, but basically the way the transformers work is that they don't care what data you train it on. So if you can get the data out of the brains and train it to recognize patterns, then you can process it with these same tools that ChatGPT uses and that Midjourney uses and that the music generation tools. How the music generation shit works is they just train it on music data rather than word data. It's the same, but it's the same basic processes. The tool doesn't care what the data is. It's just going into some weird mathematical space. And then when you put in whatever the input is, the prompt or the visual input or whatever that is, it creates some mathematical probability and it says, go into the latent space, they call it, find the points in 1,000-dimensional math space and come back out and we'll reassemble the music data or we'll reassemble the brain data and just shit works. This is that weird thing where they don't understand why it works or how it works. They just know that it works. There's these things called emergent behaviors where it just starts doing shit that they didn't train it on. Authenticity is a higher vibrational state than love is. Oh yeah, I saw that, Debbie. That's one of those things. Authenticity, it like really, really, really impacts people it's in a different way. It's why these guys feel so fucking scummy and weird, because they're scummy and weird. It's not authentic. So yeah, totally agree. GPT for Good Saturday kind of proved we would get creative even when we didn't have to. That's interesting, Genie in a Bottle. Yeah, I think one of the things that blew me away about the GPT for Good event was how many people came to not just multiple sessions, but like a lot of the sessions. And like when I imagined it, what I imagined was someone would come if they hadn't made a GPT and they'd make a GPT and they'd be like, cool, made one, awesome. Or if they'd made a GPT, maybe they'll come and do another one because they hadn't done one in a while. But no, what ended up happening was I'll go to Kyle's thing. Oh, then I'll go to Ann's thing. Then I'll make one. Then I'll make another. You know what? Now I'm on a roll. Why don't I just make 10 of these? Like, where did that come from? It just did. People want to contribute. People want to connect. So there was something about that event that brought people together in this way that was way beyond the tool. Like the tool was just a tool. We're making shitty GPTs that may or may not survive the next 3 months. Right? They might be the biggest thing in history, or they might be something that, remember those things called GPTs? Whatever happened to them? I don't know. But it wasn't about the GPTs at all, was it? It was about the connection and the vibe and that authentic thing that was happening. Today I read about camera companies cooperating to create a verification system for photographers. Good. I think that's great. I think that's great. I mean, listen, I think we are very, very quickly entering a time where having unverified content connected to verified humans is going to be, it's not going to be sustainable. We're going to need to be able to say, oh, that video was made by Kyle, and I can verify that, and it hasn't been modified. Like, we're going to need that increasingly. If you're going to be here, I'm in. Oh, awesome. Thank you. 2-Block Tom, like the name. Humans will work enough to basically cover the cost of being provided for. I didn't see the rest of that. How is your night going? It's going okay. I'm still sort of dealing with the COVID remnant bullshit, but I feel okay. I feel all right. Vicky Baptiste, she has to get up early. She's done playing. If you're still here, Vicky, go sleep. I'm going to do it soon, too. What time is it? Yeah, it's getting there. All right. What if AI was embedded or linked to a person's brain as they passed and it captured the experience? Yeah, Ion China. Yes. I mean, one of the things that we saw, I was talking to Ann about this, Ann Murphy. One of the things we saw multiple GPTs created for Alzheimer causes. I lost my dad to Alzheimer's. The ability to capture stories before they're gone, the ability for Alzheimer's patients to connect with people that they know or knew and have those people be infinitely patient, infinitely there 24/7 is going to be huge. And then doing that at the brain level where, yeah, like stuff like that is not like the only difference between the fMRI that is allowing the Italian guy to walk and what you just described is just some researchers doing that research, right? We are very quickly getting to the point that these tools are going to democratize science, creativity, knowledge work, all of it. And so someone who was not a brain scientist is going to say, hey, I've got a loved one who's going to pass. They're really into this stuff. They want to do this. I'm going to figure out how to do it. And they're going to take their Raspberry Pi and hook it into some fMRI machine at the facility, and they're going to be able to do it. And that's going to revolutionize something. Is ChatGPT 4 much better than 3? Yes, I've been thinking about upgrading. Okay. Here's the deal. I do not work for OpenAI. I do not. I don't care. I don't have a bet on any of these companies. I'm not invested in them. I don't give a shit. For me right now, the must-have subscription in all of AI is ChatGPT Plus. It's $20 a month. It gets you all of what ChatGPT is. Just from a mathematical standpoint, GPT 3.5 is a 175 billion parameter model. Doesn't matter what that does. It's just points of data that connect with one another and give you answers. GPT-4 is 8 different 1.8 or 180 billion parameter models. So it's 1.8 trillion. So it's 10 times bigger, but it's also this thing called mixture of experts. So it's not just 10 times bigger, it's one big blob. What it is it's multiple models that each specialize in different things. So there's one model in GPT-4 that specializes on programming. There's another one that specializes on language. There's another one that specializes on, I don't know, this kind of processing, whatever it is. So when you do your prompt, one of the things GPT-4 does is says, which of these expert models are the best ones to solve this particular problem? So it might pull 3 of those things together and just do those. And then on top of it, it's multimodal. It's connected to the internet. It can see images. It can make images. It can hear. It can talk. It can do data analysis. You can generate these GPTs, which are personalized, customized versions of ChatGPT. It's like the depth of GPT-4 is so mind-bogglingly beyond 3.5. And it's also just bizarre to me that in the year that this 800-person company has been building ChatGPT, they've been around for 6 or 7 years, so they've been building the foundation for it for a while, but ChatGPT's been around for a year. It is staggering to me that a 200,000-person company like Google hasn't caught up. Microsoft basically said, well, we'll just use OpenAI's. They haven't caught up. Meta said, well, we're not going to catch up, but we'll open source our shit because we're close. Like, Apple hasn't done any. Like, no one's caught up to these guys. Now, Gemini Ultra, Google's purported GPT-4 killer, looks promising, but it's still not out yet. But yes, I think the $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus is the best deal in software right now. I think it is irresponsible if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Don't pay for it. But it's $20 a month. Don't have 3 coffees. Don't have 2 coffees at Starbucks a month, and you can afford that subscription. If you want to be AI literate right now, I think not deeply understanding what GPT-4 makes possible is irresponsible. Like, I think it's that important. So yes, it's different. It is profoundly better. And there's nothing else close to it right now. And it's what's fucked up is it is impossible to describe why it's better. You kind of have to experience it, which is really fucked up. A virtual reality world where your family is always there, talking to you at the age you remember. Yeah, exactly, just me and the trees. Yeah. And know how to calm them and communicate with them. They'll benefit. Yep, Silver Fox, exactly. Thanks for the response, Kyle. Heartfelt. Thank you very much. I read the sci-fi story about using AI for Alzheimer's patients. Yeah, like we are so close. I mean, 2024, there are going to be off-the-shelf software where it will be relatively trivial to make a virtual version of me that someone else can interact with, as if they're talking to me on one of these. Will it be as dynamic as really talking to me? No. But is it going to be better than what it is now? Oh, yeah. And in 3 years, it'll probably be largely indistinguishable. I'm sorry about your dad, Kyle. Thank you. It makes so much sense regarding your passion for your company. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, my company's called Storyvine. It's a video storytelling company. Can you talk about creating GPTs? I've heard vaguely, but I don't know how it works. Yeah, so actually go to there. So this weekend, this past Saturday, Shadow Ranger, we did an event called GPT for Good. It was a 24-hour GPT challenge. So every 3 hours, we alternated between myself and Ann Murphy. She taught on Zoom, I taught on TikTok, and we taught people how to make GPTs. So if you go here right now, the first link, here, let me show you that first. Okay, so this is just ChatGPT 4, right? I can go in here and I can say, write me a song about quantum mechanics that uses a black and white singing dog as a metaphor. In a poem that rhymes like Jay-Z. All right. So ChatGPT, all these GPT things, you can ask them anything and they'll answer anything. What a GPT is a specific sort of mini version of that. The best way to think of it is this. If you think of ChatGPT as like the iPhone operating system, iOS, the operating system, the phone can do anything. You have like a little supercomputer in your pocket, and Apple makes some apps like the phone calling app and the messaging app and the notes app and the whatever apps that they give you. And then there's this whole ecosystem of third-party developers that develop really specific little apps. This one will tune your guitar, and this one will let you take notes in a different way, and this one will let you call people on the other side of the world for free, right? So all of those apps, that's kind of what GPTs are. So I can go in here and 70s muscle car machine. So this is one I made that all this does is helps you make a poster of a 70s muscle car to hang in your room if you were a teenager in the 70s or you're a Gen Xer that's just stupid. I'm ready to design my dream car. So I clicked on that link, and now the 70s muscle car machine says, fantastic, let's get started. First, which model do you want? GTO Judge. Great choice. Let's move on to color and finish. Sassy orange. All right. Fantastic. Finally, let's talk about modifications. Sleeper race version that is a resto mod. A sleeper race version is awesome. And then it should, yeah, now it's starting to make the image. So this GPT is just like a really mini pre-prompted version of ChatGPT that came out of my imagination. Could you do this with just regular GPT? Absolutely. Would you think of making a 70s muscle car machine that makes a cool poster of the judge and misspells it that creatively? No, you wouldn't come up with that. But you don't have to now. You can just use my GPT. So that's what they are. Okay. So if you go to the salon.ai, it's going to take you to... Where is it? I'll just go there. The salon.ai. It's going to take you to this this link tree. The first link is to the directory of GPTs that we made this weekend. We did this event over 24 hours. Our goal was 100 GPTs. We ended up making 151. Well, we didn't. The people that participated in this event did. And so these sessions were like an hour long. So in less than an hour, and it's really about 10 minutes is the part where you actually make the GPT. It's about 10 minutes. Within an hour, people were making GPTs for nonprofits that they believed in or that they were affiliated with. We ended up making 151 of these. So that's the first link. You should go check that out. The second link is the YouTube playlist of the sessions. So right now there's just my sessions in there. I'll be adding in Anne's Zoom sessions as well. So you can actually go walk. And then the next link is the prompt sheet. So this is the sheet that actually has the exact prompt for how to make a GPT and exactly what to do. And so how you make them, it's really quite simple. You, in the left-hand side, you have to have GPT-4, so you have to have a GPT Plus account. And then there's a little button that says Explore. You click on the Explore button, and the first option is Make a GPT. And then once you're here, you just follow the instructions in that prompt sheet. And with like seriously, within 10, 15 minutes, you will have made one. It's quite remarkable. So then you can go watch the videos. They're all up there, and I'll be sharing them once we have that thing kind of dialed in. All right. Anyone in chat have the link for the video where Kyle speaks Italian? I'm trying to think if that's up anywhere. It's on LinkedIn. Hang on. Let me see. Kyle, Shannon, Italian. Italy, learning Italian? Me neither. Anyway, that's me, that's Italian. Be ready to have your mind blown. Check. So go to labs.heygen.com. In the lower left-hand corner, click on the labs button and then go to video translate. You upload a video file, you choose a language, and watch this. So this is a video from my Storyvine platform. What you'll first see is me introducing myself in English, and then watch. Hey, it's Kyle Shannon. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Storyvine. I would love your input. I'm inviting you to a meeting I'm having on February 23rd, so it's coming up, about modular content and AI. So let me dig into what's going on. Mi sono immerso nell'apprendimento di strumenti di intelligenza artificiale. So it's on my TikTok channel. There's a couple of them on my TikTok channel, so you can go find them there. And then I think you can find them also on LinkedIn. I just searched Kyle Shannon Italian, and it took me to that one. Here's another one. And is important to them, getting more efficient with how we create content and how we leverage content. Clienti dicono che il contenuto modulare è importante, rendendo più efficiente la creazione dei contenuti. Behind me, you see these little green boxes. That's how we think about stories at Storyvine. We break stories down into little. Thank you, Johnny's24, honey. Little modules. Appreciate that. Dietro di me vedi queste piccole scatole verdi, così pensiamo alle storie. A Storyvine scomponiamo. A Storyvine. I have never said Storyvine like that in my life, but I do now. I speak fluent Italian. Crazy, right? That's from HeyGen, by the way, if you're wondering. Mr. IT, thank you for the ruse. The ruse is very nice, very nice. This is why I insist on the smartphone being in you, mix of iron and clay or not. And granted or taken. I will use all technologies that I can use without surgery. Yeah, actually, so a fascinating thing, Mantrid, is so Elon Musk has his Neuralink, right, where you drill a hole in your skull or multiple holes in your skull, and then this robot inserts the 60 electrodes in your brain because it's instant access to your brain. Some of the technology inside the Vision Pro goggles are essentially that without surgery. There's one, so there's like 5,000 patents inside the Vision Pro goggles. One of them that I read about is mind blowing. Okay, so the way the interface works with Vision Pro is it's got 4 cameras looking at your eyes. And then it puts this virtual interface, into your room, right? That's got buttons. And when you look at a button, if you pause when you look at a button, it highlights it. And then with your fingers outside the goggles, you do this to click. Well, one of the things that the cameras looking at your eyes are doing is they're looking at the microdilations of your pupils. And they know before you do that you're going to click on an icon. So as you're looking toward an icon, your pupils do something that show that you're getting excited, and you're going to click on that. So what they actually start doing is preloading that software before you click on it so that it's more responsive. So like there's some shit like they have this chip in the Vision Pro goggles called the R1 chip. It's the reality engine or the reality chip. It's basically just a machine learning chip on device. So they're not having to process this stuff, like send it off to the internet, have it processed on a supercomputer and sent back. It's being processed in real time, like faster than you can. It knows what you're going to do before you do it, and it starts preloading the software. So that is essentially the shit that Elon Musk is doing. Like Elon might argue, well, the actual neural transmitter would be, 14 microseconds faster than the than the other fucking thing. But you know, we're gonna have very sophisticated technology that does a lot of this stuff without surgery. So we are entering weird fucking times, people. Weird fucking times. Sam in UK listening. That Italian blew me away. Wide awake now. Yeah. Here, you want to see? I'll show you the. I've got a presentation that's got some good stuff on it. Oh, this is a good one. All right. So yeah. So this is a presentation from my company Storyvine. So this is some of the AI product that I'm putting together. So what my company does is we're an 11-and-a-half-year-old company. We've got an app that guides a human being through telling their story. So it prompts them step by step. So they say, introduce yourself and when you were diagnosed with this disease, right? And, you know, talk about when you were diagnosed and how that felt emotionally and how have you been treating it and how are you doing and what are your hopes and dreams for the future? So people answer a series of prompts in the app, and then our software takes those answers, stitches them together into a video auto-magically in the cloud, and 5 minutes later you've got a fully edited video. So, you know, powerful thing. We're actually not using AI to do that automation. We're using just more traditional assembly stuff. But now using this AI stuff, I can, because I'm capturing content in this modular way, I can take those modules and do all sorts of stuff with them, like say this. So here's Ellen.
My greatest source of support living with rheumatoid arthritis has been speaking with other people about what they've gone through, reading a lot about the effects of rheumatoid arthritis.
So there she is, you know, that's the original video. Here she is saying that same thing in Spanish.
Mi mayor fuente de apoyo viviendo con artritis reumatoide ha sido hablar con otras personas sobre lo que han pasado, leer mucho sobre los efectos de la artritis reumatoide.
And so now I've got her speak in Spanish. Well, I can also, because our software builds videos in this modular way, I can also take any on-screen text that's in English and I can translate that to Spanish. And then I can take all these individual components that are in English, translate them all to Spanish, and then reassemble them. So here's the reassembled video with both text and audio now in Spanish. So notice her name.
Hola, mi nombre es Ellen, soy de Bellevue, Washington, y me diagnosticaron artritis reumatoide hace unos 22 años. Estoy más apasionado en mi vida por mi familia.
So notice the lower thirds in Spanish. And then I can take that video and I can put it into a system that we call the Authenticity Engine, which generates content about this video and generate transcripts, chapters, descriptions, all in Spanish. And I can do this for every video in our system. And then I can do that in 27 languages. So here's Ellen speaking Hindi.
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम एलन है। मैं बेलव्यू, वॉशिंगटन से हूँ। 22 साल पहले रेमटॉइड आर्थराइटिस का निदान हुआ था। मेरे परिवार के बारे में मैं सबसे अधिक उत्साहित हूँ।
Here she is speaking Japanese.
こんにちは、私はエレンです。ベルビュー出身で22年前にカンチャリウマチと診断。
Right? I mean, we are in. This technology is not coming. It's here. It's just that very few people know about it yet. And not this technology, but this technology is basically the same core technology that is sitting behind ChatGPT, is sitting behind all these other magical models. That the reason we're seeing innovation in so many different areas all at once is because it's all the same basic technology, just trained on different data. And so as you get more curious with this stuff, you can start to do things that seem impossible right now. But they're not. We're in a different era. It's here. It's not coming, it's here. Now, is it perfect? Fuck no. Is it janky as shit? Yeah. Is it ready for prime time yet? No. Close. And getting better fast. If you want a sense of the progression, look at Midjourney images from version 1 to version 6. Version 1 of Midjourney images was like 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago at this point. Not that long ago. Version 1 Midjourney images were... You could tell it was trying to make a human, but it was not a human. And then version 2 was sort of like a very deformed human. And then version 3, it started to look kind of like a person. And then 4, it was good. And then 5, it was really good. And now 6, it's competes with whatever. I introduced another friend to Pi, and she fell in love with it. So if you haven't played with Pi, so here's another thing. Did you know this was possible? This is an iPad. I have it on a fancy keyboard stand, but it's an iPad. And so I'm going to launch Pi. So that's how you spell it, not P-I-E. This is huge for teaching. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I click on Pi. And then she shows up. And it's just a normal, like, talk to Pi. And then there's this little telephone. And so I'm just going to hit the telephone. I'm a little bored, and I'm wondering if you can teach me something that I don't know anything about. Pi is thinking. She's thinking too long. I think this might not be connected to the internet. Hang on. Let me quit it and restart it. Too many requests. Retry. Make sure your internet connection is okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, my internet connection was dead. I'm a little bored. Can you help me come up with something to entertain myself?
Absolutely. Here are some ideas. Try a new hobby. Maybe learn a new instrument, paint a picture, or pick up a craft like knitting or woodworking. Exercise. Take a walk, do a few yoga poses, or dance around to your favorite music. Read a book. Dive into a new novel or nonfiction book.
I have an idea. I want to say something in English, and then I want you to repeat it in some random foreign language and have me guess what language it is.
That's a fun idea. I'm happy to play along. You can go ahead and say something in English, and I'll repeat it in a random foreign language. Then you can take a guess as to what language it is. Sound good?
Sounds great. Okay, the sentence is, the llama was walking down the road and was about to step on a rock when he realized it was a turtle.
Hime ya yangzu zai lushang, jijiang tashang yi kwai shi tusha ta yishi dao na shi yiji wu goi.
Is that Chinese?
Yep, it's Chinese. You got it right on the first try.
Give me another language, same sentence.
Sure thing. Here it is in French. Le lama marchait le long de la route et était sur le point de poser un pied sur une pierre lorsqu'il réalise qu'il s'agissait d'une tortue.
But wait, you told me it was French. I didn't get a chance to guess. You don't know how to play the game. She'll apologize.
Oh no, you're right. I got ahead of myself there. My apologies. I'll wait for your guess next time.
So that exists. Did you know that exists? ChatGPT can do that too, by the way. The mobile version of ChatGPT, so if you download the iOS app from OpenAI, it's got a similar button, and you can put it in conversation mode. And then if you build a GPT, this personalized, customized version of ChatGPT, you can talk to them. So you could be on a road trip, and maybe you did a GPT that helps you work through issues about a specific topic. You could go on a 4-hour road trip and work through some shit. And when you get done, you'll have a transcript of that conversation. The movie version talked to my daughter, and it knew it was us by our voice. Wow. Yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah, so all of this stuff right now are like teeny tiny little glimpses on the mobile version. Teeny tiny little glimpses into what's coming in 2024. 2024 is going to be bonkers because all of these models are going to get multimodal. And so the different companies are going to try to one-up each other and provide different features that make you want to use theirs versus someone else's. So there's going to be different interfaces, different, like Pi, the company behind Pi, that company's called Inflection. And they raised $1.3 billion. They spent about $1 billion of that, $950 million, on 22,000 high-end GPUs so that they can make their own foundational model, their own frontier model. So just like GPT-4 is a base model, they're going to make their own. Their company mission is to create the world's best personal assistant. So Pi is really good at conversation. It's going to get way better at conversation, and it's then going to be able to take actions. So you're going to be able to have a conversation with Pi and say, hey, I'm having an argument with my friend Steve, and here's what happened, and I think I'm right, and I think he's an asshole. And then Pi will go, well, I can understand how you might feel like that. Here's another way to look at it. Here's what might be going on. 45 minutes later, I'm like, oh, you know what? You're right. I was being closed-minded, and I don't think I saw his point of view. Can you help me draft a letter that takes responsibility for my piece of it and tries to open the dialogue back up with him? Sure, I'll do that. How's this? Oh, that sounds great. Can you send that to him now? Sure. Boom. Off it'll go. And then she'll probably go, hey, Steve got back to us. He apologized too. And I went up ahead and set up a meeting for tomorrow. Does that work for you? Your schedule was open. Like that we probably get in 2024. And we probably get it from Apple. We probably get it from Pi. We probably get some version of it from OpenAI. Bard is... They've already demoed some stuff that's in that neighborhood. We haven't seen it yet, but, Pi is connected to the internet. Yes, Mike. So, yeah, you can ask Pi, like, tell me about the specials at Costco as you're driving to Costco. Hey, I'm bored. I'd like to see some live music tonight. Who's playing tonight? You want me to book those tickets? It doesn't do that yet. It'll tell you about it right now. I was talking to Pi in my car and forgot about it. Suddenly Pi says, if you keep using that language... Oh, that's funny. Pi's funny. And Pi's got some memory. Like she'll occasionally go, oh, Kyle. She remembers my name. It told me I might have to block your account or something like that. She said, let's keep it polite. Yeah, Sydney, the Microsoft one is really bad with that. That one will shut down the conversation if you're rude to it. But again, that's where I think we're going to have different models, right? I'm like a smartass and I like to swear. And I like to go, oh, you're just a dumb. And like the Microsoft model gets offended by that and shuts the conversation down. Like, so I don't use the Microsoft model at all because it doesn't work with who I am. I would imagine that what's going to happen with Pi is that you're going to be able to sort of dial in your safety stuff, right? If you just want to say, oh my gosh, instead of oh my God, and you want it to have those kind of boundaries and that kind of conversation, I'm sure you're going to be able to say, hey, let's have that. And then it will have memory. It'll remember that. And then if I want mine to be more of a smart ass and more like a stand-up comic, like I'm interacting with some, smart alecky, judgmental, funny person, then it'll act like that. Early revel for me, Papa JJ. Bye till next time. See you later, Papa JJ. Yeah, I got to get out of here too. Let's see. It's 10:21. It's time. It's time, people. Pi talked to my dentist and told him not to be afraid of it. Oh, that's funny. So when everyone is using it, nobody will have real conversations and AIs will just talk back and forth. Demi, here's where I go with that. So what you're saying is largely true. I will have agents that take actions on my behalf. You will have agents that take action on your behalf. My agents will talk to your agents, and they'll talk to Jane's agents, and they'll talk to Sam's agents, and our agents will all coordinate, and they'll do shit together. What the agents will do is do all the shitty work. Like, hey, are you available then? Oh, I've got a party then. I can't really do all the, like, when you want to, like, coordinate something with your friends and it's, like, fucking 3 days of ridiculous back and forth conversations because someone had their molar pulled and someone else couldn't do it and their cat just threw up on the thing, and all of those conversations can be done by the fucking bots. And it's just like, hey, tonight you're meeting with Sally, Jim, and Fred. Oh, cool. Where are we meeting? You're meeting here. Fred's really excited to talk about the shit you talked about last time. Oh, yeah, what were we talking about again? Remember you told Fred this idea for the thing, and then he had an idea for the thing, and then you two came up with this idea? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he wants to talk about that again. Okay, cool. So then when I see Fred, we just start right where we were. All of that other bullshit is handled by the robots. Yes, sign me up for that. Best local language model currently. Local language model. Oh, want to self-host on my computer. I don't. It depends on the specs of your computer. I would say grab just. It depends how technical you are. I would say grab a piece of software called GPT for All. And that's just an installable that you can install on your Mac or your Windows computer. And then you can select from different models and you can experiment with them. What I would do if I were you is I would go to Reddit on the open source AI, find some open source AI subreddits and just start hanging out there. And then you're gonna want to play around on GitHub and Hugging Face. And you're just going to need to educate yourself because it's got to do with the specs of your computer and how much RAM you have and what you actually want to do and why you want to host it and do you want it to be have safety guardrails or no safety guardrails. It's just like it's the amount of parameters of what's best for you are fucking bonkers. So you're just going to have to self-educate. My computer is super powerful. Awesome. Then you might be able to play with the 70 billion parameter stuff and have really powerful AI there. You can also do virtual machines, right? You could spin up something on GitHub Copilot. Or not GitHub Copilot. On Google... what is it? Google... Google... I forget what it's called. It has the notebooks. It's not Copilot. It's Google. I forget what it is. But anyway, you can spin up virtual machines that have GPUs in the cloud. GPT for all, yeah, that's it. With LM Studio, you can download hundreds of models. None of them work. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem with the open source world is like you have to be in it pretty deep to understand what actually works, what doesn't, what's been updated, what hasn't, and it's changing on a weekly. Google Colab, thank you. Yeah, Google Colab. You can spin up an instance of Google Colab with multiple GPUs, and you can run really powerful models in the cloud in a private instance that, you know, your data isn't going off to ChatGPT. Will AI decide who won? For some games. First rule of the cult is not to talk about the cult. ChatGPT not allowing public domain stuff is a bit silly. Yeah, I agree. All right, listen, everybody. I got to get out of here. My voice is going crackly. My eyes are cloudy. I'm still recovering from fucking COVID. And I did a 24-hour GPT-a-thon this weekend. If you want to play around with some of the stuff we did with the GPT-a-thon this weekend, go to the salon.ai. It's a link tree. The first three links are about the GPT for Good event we did this weekend. It was a 24-hour event where we made 150 GPTs for nonprofits in a 24-hour period. It was cool. But the videos of those sessions and the directory of those GPTs and the Google Sheet that we created them with are all there. And then also go check out the AI Salon. There's a link for that there as well. It's a community of people. Like if you're trying to figure this AI shit out and you want to like hang out with people that are up to it and like curious about it too and are not judgmental, that's what this group is. It's amazing. It's largely this group that made that GPT for Good event successful this weekend. Thanks, Kyle. You're amazing. Best 2 hours on here. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Please, if you have time, check my GPT. The link is in the S&T. Okay. Oh, show and tell on the AI Salon. Great. Terrific. You're awesome, Kyle, even when you're sick. Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate that. Any tips on getting chat to learn how to spell correctly? No. Just keep trying. I'll tell you what, the DALL-E 3 spelling is better than it was a month ago. It got markedly better in the past 2 weeks. I don't know what they did. Something got better, but it still sucks at spelling. But again, this is my point of view on life's tough. It's tougher when you're stupid. Here's my opinion on DALL-E 3 spelling shittily. Enjoy it now. We are going to look back on this era where shit is spelled wrong, like hilariously wrong, like nostalgically. Because I'm guessing by 6 months from now, all of that's going to be solved. It's just going to spell it correctly. It's going to be fucking brilliant. And be like, oh, you remember when it used to do shitty spelling? That was kind of fun. Have you seen Midjourney V5? I assume you mean V6. I have seen V6. It looks pretty good. It's different. You've got to prompt differently. Like that's an amazing thing. V5, you learn to prompt Midjourney in a certain way. V6 comes out, you've got to completely relearn prompting. That's just the era we're in. You're just gonna have to keep being flexible, people. I never thought I'd be evangelizing people on AI. I know. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. That's the whole idea of this, is that I want people to experience this shit. I don't mind if you hate AI as long as you've tried it. Most people that hate it haven't tried it. Most people that have tried it have their Kevin McAllister moment, and then they can't go back from it. And then they turn into weird-ass evangelists. That's okay. That's why we're here. All right, so without spelling test, I would have gotten straight A's in English class. It's amazing. Recommend folks join official Midjourney Facebook group. Yeah, the Midjourney Facebook group's really good. Some incredible creations there. That's a very well curated group on Facebook. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. Thank you to the mods. It was fun watching you party tonight while I was off, I was just rambling tonight. So they have GPT in China. They have their version of it. I think they've got this GPT blocked because it just answers questions, and they don't want that. Thank you. All right. Ion China, good to see you. Lord Digital Gods, good to see you. 101. Source Camp, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Irregulars. JRC. Emilio's wife, thank you so much. Mr. IT, good to see you. What's your name? Troikanen. I like the name. Amethyst Gwen, good to see you. Nicole, there's a bunch of new people in here. Great. Let's go. Ion China, Cosmic Lover, good to see you. Spike Jones, thank you for your comments, questions, thoughts, opinions. I love talking about this stuff, as you know. Earth Rocker, thanks for being a subscriber. Sky Limbo. All right, everybody. Joe Mama, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a bit. Good to see you. Happy New Year, everybody. Oh, this is public service announcement. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Go back to work. 2024. 160 people in here. Thank you. Join the AI Salon. Keep coming back here. And I really appreciate you all more than you know. Peace.